I forgot to add something in the previous explanation, which is at least how I personally did it. Um, I started asking myself a very simple question. Do I give a fuck? Like, I just started asking this very obsessive. Like, every single time I have some sort of a trigger, I would always just go, okay, and do I care? Do I care? Does this matter? Do I care? Does this matter? Do I care? Does this matter? I have taken it to the extreme and to a point where I've realized basically nothing matters. uh, and I guess we can choose what matters to us and really care about those things. But why would you care about something that doesn't matter? Someone could be saying something very mean or offensive to you, and you could get very, oh, how could they attack my character? How could this random person who probably knows nothing about me, uh, think of me in this way? Oh no, the opinion of some random person. How am I gonna live the rest of my life? You know? Like, completely, completely unreasonable response. If you, at least it's the way I framed it. But that is, in reality, that is what you're doing if you're stressing over some people, random people's opinion. You also, another thing that really helped me was understanding how stupid the vast majority of people are and how none of their points are to be taken seriously. In a sense that it's very well, first of all, if you're someone that is prone to stress, you are generally average or above average intelligence, or at least uh, a little bit prone to being in the above average direction, right? Statistically, you're more likely to be more sensitive to certain things, which is a sign of intelligence, right? You're perceiving more stimulus or whatever. You're picking up on more things, which is why more things are stressing you. People that don't pick up on those things, people that don't have base level of intelligence, or their base is much lower than you, will not pick up on things or will not see the problems in things, and therefore they won't even have a stress response to begin with. So you are if you're watching this, you're most likely a little bit prone to having slightly higher intelligence. And it's very easy to project your own intelligence onto other people. Uh, you'll think, oh, just because, how should I say? It's also comes down to lack of awareness. So you will think, well, have this level of intelligence, and you would just assume by default that everyone else has a similar level of intelligence. You do not live in such a world. I'm sorry to tell you. There are some fish out there, and there are some imposters among us. In fact, there's a lot of imposters among us. Most of us are imposters. And when you start kind of paying attention to people and actual thought patterns they have, and start actually paying attention to why they think certain things or where they're coming from, once you have. So, first step is awareness of self. Second step is awareness of others around you and what they actually are and where they're coming from. Then, that allows you to accurately judge uh, the validity of what they're saying. For example, someone is talking to you about politics or whatever. Someone's like, well, I think this is gonna happen, or I think crypto is gonna go up, or I think the stocks are gonna do that. Um, they might be right or they might be wrong. The thing that they're proposing could be true or could be not true. What has that anything got to do with them? Are they someone who is an expert in that field? And I don't mean an expert like, oh, does he have a diploma? Is he a doctor? Yeah, even those are overrated most of the time. Is he someone who has enough resources and enough intelligence to have the capacity to come up with accurate judgments or assessments of information that they uh, absorb? And do they even are they even absorbing the correct information? Do they have access to those uh, good information sources? And a vast majority of people do not have access to any good information or and do not have any reasoning abilities that allow them to um, process information in a useful manner at all. Vast majority just do not have such skills, which means that it doesn't matter what they're thinking about. There is no merit to anything they have ever thought about ever. They're just saying random shit that they've just heard somewhere on television. They might have gotten the idea. They watched some fucking movie or some anime, and then they were like, that was really cool. And then they've just inherited and lived with that idea for the rest of their life. And you're sitting there listening to what this person is saying, which she just got from like a random fucking YouTube short, and he just didn't question, assumed it was true, because obviously um, everything that is said is gospel. And you're sitting there and you're actually fucking putting some weight into their words. You're like, this really stupid person has said something. Are they possibly right about this? Or maybe you're getting triggered by what they're saying. Like, how dare this person who has never cooked anything in his life critique and teach me how to cook? I am very strongly offended by this. I want to highlight something. The reason why your response so strong to response to triggers is because you see some value in those triggers. If you were to walk on a road and you were to see a dog barking at you, right? And the dog is like, if a dog is barking, what is it doing? It's basically initiating an argument, just in its own language. It's like, get off my turf! Get out of here! You smell like fish or whatever, right? If you really think about it, that's all what dogs are barking is, right? Get away! Are you going to sit there and feel personally hurt or stressed or emotionally disturbed by what a dog is telling you about yourself? Like, just think how absurd that is. What are we gonna start doing? Like, listening to everyone? We're gonna start listening to monkeys. We're gonna start listening to insects. We're gonna start listening to the rustle of trees as the wind blows. We're gonna be like, oh my god, the trees are judging me. Come on. That's just absurd. That's retarded. Uh, but the same applies to humans. If there's someone who the reason why it's completely absurd to listen to the opinions of trees rustling is exactly the same as why it's absurd to listen to the opinions of humans with low intelligence or low amount of insight in certain fields. How is it any different? They're just spewing random shit. There hasn't been any vetting process. There hasn't been any quality um, refinement. They haven't applied critical thought onto their ideas. So why should you even entertain them? So basically, accepting that some things in this life are stupid. Stop projecting your own intelligence onto others. Some people are just dumb, and you can't really do anything about them. You don't really need to sit there and be like, oh my god, I can't believe that this dog uh just tried to pee in public. Like, does it not even know manners? Does it not respect me? Like, what is wrong with this dog? Like, if you're stressing that much out about a dog, there's something wrong with you. Way more so than with the dog. And there's something you can work with. So, back to the do I give a fuck? So, I started really questioning everything that people were telling me, and I was like, why do I need to listen to this person? Who are they? Uh, do they, what kind of life do they live? Have they shown me any signs of brilliance or intelligence? Have they succeeded in anything? Have they predicted a large amount of, things or whatever? Have they managed to impress me with their intelligence? And if the answer is no, then you can just be like, put an asterisk beside their name, like, don't need to take this person as seriously. And if you start keeping a mental note of who is or of how intelligent people around you are, you will be able to regulate how seriously you take the stimulus from them. So, for example, I used to be very uh, proactive, very. I used to play a lot of Counter-Strike, right? And to me, it was really annoying when someone told me what to do, especially because they would. The Counter-Strike community is pretty retarded. Average players are really stupid, and they have a very specific way of playing. And if you are above a certain level of understanding, even it doesn't even matter what you know, elo you are, or whatever. Retards are everywhere. They will just be. It will just be outside of the realms of their understanding. It'll be like, I can't believe you can play this way. And even if it's working, even if it's succeeding, you're, consistently having positive impact, they will be screaming at you, "Stop doing this!" I troll, right? They're just having their own, I don't know, like bubble burst that they think there are certain rules to the game that don't actually exist, right? And they're trying to force their understanding onto you by putting pressure onto you. And I used to always argue with people. I used to get really triggered with people. I used to be like, "No, I've seen professional players play like this. Shut up." Blah 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 blah. And then at some point, uh, I just realized they're stupid. Why do I need to explain myself to them? Someone is being inadequate or annoying or stupid. Muted. Like, why do I need to care about what their opinion is? Why do I even need to consider their opinion? I don't need to consider the opinion of people that are stupid. Um, I mean, I still responded a little bit after that for a short period where I don't know, my ego got hurt or whatever, or how should I say, I got kind of offended by the sheer audacity, or sheer yeah, audacity, I think is the right word, to even speak with so much confidence and be so incredibly wrong. And the way I've gotten over that is again, do I give a fuck? Do I care if someone who has no credibility, in my eyes, tells me some arbitrary thing that I don't need an input for? Uh, like, do I care? It's like, imagine you have some world-class chef, I don't know, Gordon Ramsay or some shit, right? And some random peasant on the street was like, "You're salting your peppers wrong." Do you think Gordon Ramsay is gonna be okay? Gordon Ramsay is a really bad example. Bro enjoys shouting at people. Do you think an adequate version of? Do you think that's adequate that he? Okay, I think the reason he shouts is a little bit different. I don't think he's stressed from it. I think he enjoys the conflict. He's not sitting there and like getting stressed and like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this random mere mortal has questioned me." Like he instantly goes into offensive because he probably just fucking enjoys doing that, right? It's not really the same. Um, And maybe for him that is fun, or maybe that is destroying his life, right? That's for him to decide. Okay, point made. So, in short, just an extra thing to add to that is ask yourself, do I care? And should I care? And you will eventually find answers to what you do care about and what you don't care about. And you'll have a more um, refined response to stimulus.